Hello to everyone. Thank you so much for coming to our last pitch day of the year. Of course, we are coming back soon in January, middle of January, but this is the last of 2022. We've been done quite a few events this year between fireside, panel discussion, pitch day. So we're very happy. We've been involved in so many founders, and we've been delighted to talk to so many in what has been our first year. EquityMatch is a very young startup itself. So we are very happy to work with startups as we are startup ourselves. So today we have another four great founders coming from all over, from America to Denmark, going through Italy and Israel, and I can't wait to present them to you. So I'm bringing our first founder to you, which is Rufo Guerreschi, founder of Trustless AI Salts. Rufo, if you want to give an introduction to yourself, and after we walk through your startup.
Yeah, I'm CEO of Trustless AI. We're based between Geneva and Rome, and we've been working to solve the problem of mobile privacy, which is a very widespread problem from prime ministers to journalists and hundreds of thousands of persons. And yeah, that's what we've been trying to do. And so we think we do have a real groundbreaking solution. Should I go on to the deck?
Go for it, please.
All right. I'm moving on the deck and it's not moving.
Do you need technical issue? Kalindo, you can help Rufo to move the deck.
Rufo, can you please stop share and share again?
Okay, I stop share. I'm sharing again. Okay, sharing the right slide. Let's see if we're lucky this time. Okay.
That's the beauty of Go Live.
Okay, fantastic. All right, so let's start with the problem. So even prime ministers, head of opposition in Spain, Greece, Israel, recently even the UK and Switzerland have been hacked on their smartphones. That's not a problem only of prime ministers. Cybersecurity found that the richest people in the world, 60 million high net worth individuals, found that to be number 2 problem and concern. That's the number 1 problem of family offices, which are the little banks of the very rich people. So it's a very widespread problem that doesn't seem to have a solution. The source of the problem literally is systems are too complex, are obscure, not verified enough, not transparent, and there's this hugely complex supply chain which are not verified enough. But then again, we solved that for airplanes, and we solved that now for nuclear. Only 1 out of 16 million flights results in an accident. That started with the creation of the Federal Aviation Administration. So we're incredibly good at safety engineering and certifications. So the real reason that we don't have that kind of solution in IT and mobile devices is that all IT and standards are weakened by powerful nations to fight crime, terror, and enemies. So in order to fight terrorism and enemies, every device needs to be broken beyond the underlying encryption in order for them to protect us. And so our democracy, our civil rights are collateral damages. And this is created enormous problems. So what's the solution? Firstly, we need a global trustworthy certification body that can independently certify this level of security, which is really doesn't trust anyone and anything, leaving no stone unturned. And this verification and certification should apply not only to the device, but also to mechanism for in-person processes to allow lawful security agencies, when they have legitimate authority, to actually access this information and interception in person without any backdoors, but with an in-person process, as it was done for postal, as it was done for phones. And then we're creating also a first device which is radically simpler than your phone, which is a standalone 2 millimeter thin mobile phone, which is 100 times simpler than your smartphone in hardware, software, and supply chain. It still has Wi-Fi, Bluetooth, NFC, and this ultra minimization allowed us to use battle-tested open source components and really use this simplicity to go down and reach this level of security. Nobody wants to carry an extra device though, right? So we have two ways in which you can conveniently bring this along. Number one, we have several different leather wallets where you can put this device face out. So you replace your leather wallet with another leather wallet that fits your style, where you can put your cash, your card, and this device face out. So you don't have to carry an extra device. And that's mostly for diehard iPhone users that don't want to move to Android. But if you're an Android user, you will move to a Civic phone, a device that we're already talking to Samsung and Huawei, and initially with BlackBerry, that will be embedded in a future Android phone, so that you will have this device in the back. So I would ask you to switch back to my video so I can show the prototype of the proof of concept device of the Civic phone. I would ask you, my assistants here at EquityMatch, if you could switch so I can show the POC device.
Yes, Rufo, you're good to go.
Okay, good. All right, so basically, this is what it would look like. So on one side, you have an Android phone, which has a reflected screen in the back. You didn't even see that there's a screen. But then magically, you click on a button and you have this other environment in the back, which is just like a phone. You instantly know how to use it. It's just like a phone, but more Zenish, more minimized. You have this messaging application, which is just like WhatsApp, but just more minimized. And you have several different default apps. Anyone can write an app as long as it's certified by the same certification body is in. Then I turn around the device and I'm back here. So of course, when I first log into the device, it will ask me for biometric authentication, multi-biometric authentication signature, but then once I log in the first time, the gyroscope is on. So even if I put it in my pocket and I put it back on, it will know it's still me handling it. So I can move from my public sphere information to my private sphere information. So that's about it. We are raising 1.5 million and also have a larger 7 million round because we have several nation states interested. We're talking to 3 large, very large private banks in Switzerland and to 7 nation states to become governance partner for the certification body and clients for the device. And so we're seeking private investors to join, also state investors in this venture. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Rufo. Thank you. Let me ask you a couple of questions. The first one is, we all know cybersecurity is a huge problem from individuals, companies, for states, everyone on this planet. Now, when it comes to your device, is made exactly only for people, or how can apply, for example, to companies? How can apply to states as well, governments?
Okay, so a typical company would buy a few dozens of these devices or hundreds, give it to C-level, sub-C-level executives, and also give it to the close associates and or even personal associates of your CEO, because you wouldn't want them to be blackmailed. And they have a way to manage these devices. They can wipe a user before they're even fired. And the user actually gets to keep the device, using the device in its personal environment. There's a personal professional environment, so that as long as they pay personally to keep the device on. So this device can be given out to executives as a benefit instead of a shackle that we're giving to you just because we're paranoid about security. Governments, it's a little bit more complex, but these server rooms that we have where all the secure data is stored, they're in Switzerland, but also there will be a server room in every client government, whereby any interception which is of user in their territory or users with their passport would happen at that server room in their territory, so that the laws of the land would govern the lawful access. And so we have lots of very sophisticated ways to do that we developed over 7 years with about 25 partners, and over 30 advisors.
I mean, which is the level of security and what I can secure with your devices? I mean, with your application, with your pure device more than application. So how far I can go in securing my privacy? What
Well,
I
how
can...
far you can go? Okay, a perfect security does not exist, has never existed, and will never exist. But that doesn't mean that that level of security cannot radically be improved, in respect to the standards of today, which are incredibly shallow, and that would allow you to trust this device. You probably I mean, you shouldn't trust this device to do something that if hacked, it will cause you to die or go to jail. But you could trust it, to rely it for your private digital life, messaging, e-health, all the kind of things that people are very hesitant to do with the iPhone, especially reach and targeted persons. They're hesitant to do messaging or even have their phone next to them because they know that they can be hacked and listen to them at all times. So it can really become a personal hub of your sensitive digital life, and even become an interface to your wearable, to your VR headsets, as a means to authenticate your device. And so, I mean, it really is an extreme level of improvement, but we never say it's perfect because perfect doesn't exist.
Absolutely. What about the business model? How do you generate revenue?
Every device will cost about $250 to make, and on the first 10,000 units batch, it will have a certain amount of cost to manage because it's going to be a high target customer user base at the beginning. But we sell it for $2,500 per year because this is something that there are many rich people and prime ministers that would be willing to pay $100,000 for it. And so it's really, we could charge whatever we want for something like this, to the extent that we can convince them about the security level. And so we have this level of pricing that enable us to offer continuous also support and training to make sure people use it in a proper way, and also support and upgrades and so on and so forth. So it's a lease kind of model. That's what we do for persons and companies. For governments, it will be also more customized because governments will want more also customized development and integration, and also some large private banks will also want to do that because they also will be acting as channels. So there will be a mix of business model, but the main one will be B2B and B2B2C managed service. That will be the main one.
I mean, my last one is, what about the collaboration with the main phone makers, which means you have been talking about, for example, BlackBerry, whoever they are. How can you convince them?
Well, it's very easy. There are several premium brands of smartphones, which at some point in the recent 10 years were premium phones that now are basically off the market. BlackBerry is one of them, but you have HTC, Vivo, Oppo, or quite a few other brands which have very high customer branding, but they're off the market because the market has been highly consolidated in a few Chinese brands like Huawei, and then the iPhone and Samsung. And so by going to market with us, with this ultra secure device in the back, they will completely take over they have a chance to take a large majority of the market of the high premium markets, the richest, most powerful people in the world with very fat margins, and at the same time be able to have a reasonable expectation to sell 1 to 1.5 million devices, because that's the kind of numbers that make economics for a global smartphone maker. That's also why we keep the prices and costs down, and we'll actually sell lower cost units, which would cost even $600, whereby we just price the hardware at cost and make money off the added apps on the device.
My very last one, and after we move to the second founder, regarding the fundraising, you already said. Please repeat how much you are raising and for doing what.
Okay, 1.5 million really will be focused on having 3 core, very highly skilled persons, me, my co-founder, and a extremely uniquely qualified CTO. My co-founder is a CSO, Chief Security Officer, to work to consolidate the supply chain across like-minded nations with high redundancy on these critical technical partners, and work with them to consolidate this over a few months. And we create a new prototype based on a new open source CPU and operating system, so that we will have in about 9 months enough proven feasibility proven feasibility and manufacturability and security to validate a larger round of 7 million, which allows us to finalize and go to market with 10,000 devices.
Beautiful. Thank you so much for being with us. Please stay, because we are all back together at the end, which means 45.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
I'm moving to the next one. David Amselen. David, how's it going? Founder
Very good.
of Sorry, David, I forgot your
I'm
comment.
sorry.
Thank you so much for coming, David. Please, if you want to give an introduction to yourself, and after we move to Vivo.
Okay. So I'm a serial entrepreneur. I actually launched this is my 5th startup. I launched the first company called Dalet. Dalet is one of the world leaders for software for TV. It still exists. It has 500 employees and customers like the BBC, HBO, Time Warner, most of the major groups of media around the world. And then I launched another company called TV Tech, which was kind of like Shazam for TV, where you could point with a phone to any TV channel, and we would recognize in real time what was playing, and we would basically enable interactivity. So that the company was acquired by Patrick Soong-Chong, who is one of the wealthiest individuals in Los Angeles. He's the owner of the LA Times. And so I have a big experience on both, on video and mobile. And with me, I have a team of engineers, mainly. We are based in Beersheba. Beersheba is the center of one of the biggest universities in Israel. And we are we have 12 engineers in our team. So the problem we are trying to solve is simple, small businesses, they need video to basically promote themselves, communicate with their customers, and there are many, many tools. So at the same time that for big view, it means that we have a lot of competitors, it's also the opportunity it's there, because basically users get confused. They don't know, if they want to write a script, what teleprompter they will use, what tools they can use for scripting, where they can send the video as a message, like Loom. You can do streaming like we are doing right now. You have social media, then video hosting to put it on your website. And basically, especially for small businesses, it gets really, really confused. So what we do is basically we try to simplify the life of small businesses with a tool that is kind of like a TV studio that you can put in your pocket. It's mobile first. It also runs on the web. But basically, what we do is we have we can generate scripts with AI. So let's say you want to make a pitch about your business. Just say a few words, and then from there we will propose a script. if you want to write your script, you can write your script, and then basically nobody will pitch your business better than yourself. So you can basically read it out of a teleprompter, read and record. And once you are done with the recording, you just push on a click, and it styles your video automatically with captions, split screens, business animations. So it's more interesting than just basically a talking head in front of the camera. And what you need to understand is, for a small business now, video and marketing is the same. If you need to send an email, you send a video email. If you want to send a message on WhatsApp, the best is to send a recording of yourself, basically, so you have this eye connection with the prospect that you are talking to. Same thing for social media. Now it's all video in almost every platform. And also the websites and the blogs are also coming to basically be centered around video. So this is basically what we do. You create your video with different tools, and then you can create a web page, you can post on social media, you can do live streaming, you can do interactive, all from your iPhone. And this is basically what's unique, is that it's all in one from a mobile device. One important part is, not only we use AI to make it really easy, but there is also this ability to invite freelancers to your workspace or team members. And with this, basically, we build some kind of network effect where different people can collaborate on the same videos. Also, for example, agencies that can invite customers and collaborate with them inside of the platform. So the more agencies we have, the more business basically we get through these network effects. So today we have 7 million registered users, 500,000 active every month, 40,000 paying subscribers, because and among them, we have 1 million coaches, 70,000 real estate agents. So we cover all verticals, and most of the customers are small businesses. The model is simple. We have free users, and with free, you can use the app for free to use the teleprompter, certain tools. And what happened is 80% of the registered users, basically convert on day one. So our model is free users bring more users. But if they didn't convert the first day, it's actually quite difficult to convert them. But if they converted the first day, and we have big conversion rates, basically 8% of all the users that come to the platform convert. So that's quite a big number for this type of platform. And then they can basically either buy monthly or what we call the pro, or get into a team. And of course, our job is to upsell, to get the customers to higher packages with a higher LTV. And this year, 2022, has been a little bit challenging, but I think we have done quite a good job. Basically, because we have been able to reduce the cost of acquisition significantly. So with exactly the same ad spend, we got the same amount. With exactly the half of the ad spend of January, we got exactly the same amount of customers in October, but of course at a much reduced cost. So basically, we went in January from a $160,000 loss to a profit of $40,000, and we still grew 20%, 30% in November. So we keep growing, but now we are profitable. We were profitable in October, and we were also profitable in November. So as you can see, the company started selling in 2019. Then we grew relatively fast. 2021 was a difficult year for us because there were many changes on the Apple platform, how advertising works, and the traffic. Actually, many apps suffer. I mean, not only us, but Snapchat, Facebook. I mean, many of the big players. But
We
we
have
have
1 minute. Sorry, David. We have 1 minute left. If you want to close, so we can move to the.
This is the last slide. So we were able to basically turn around the company in 2022 with growth, and at the same time we went from loss to profitable, and we think now we are in a really good position to continue. And now we are raising about $1 million, mainly for marketing expenses, because overall the product exists and we already have a lot of customers. So this is basically where we stand.
Thank you so much, David. Let me ask you, how long does it take to me to create a video on your application if I want to use it?
I think it takes every day less and less, basically. You know, when we started, or even a year ago, it would really take 15, 20 minutes because you had to write the script. And now you just need to come up with the idea. You just basically tell the system what idea you want to convey. You know, very important today on social media is to have concise and straight to the point videos because people do not have any patience anymore. So you just basically come up with the idea, we give you the script, you record it, you click on a button, and then it's styled. So it takes maybe 5 minutes, 7 minutes, and then in one click, you can send it to TikTok, Instagram, YouTube, several channels at the same time. And we'll give you a report of how well it performed or not. So I think it's really unique in if you want to scale, you know, the video production, and you don't have time or skills, basically.
I mean, producing video is very expensive. We know very well, and I love video. This is why we are here. So I'm extremely big fan of video. But when it comes to editing?
The editing is done, basically that was the first NLP algorithm that we built. We take the narration of the video. We specialize only on camera-facing videos, okay? So someone who is making a pitch. So we take this pitch and we segment it into scenes. And from there, we basically apply templates to each scene. So you can have split screens, captions, we highlight keywords. All this is done automatically. And then you can go and edit it if there is something you didn't like. But what we notice is that most of the users don't edit it. They just basically use it. And even if there is one or two parts that are not perfect, they don't really care that much because, you know, anyways, a video on social media has a life time of a day or 2 days. So there is it's really more the message and the speed more than, you know, the quality of the editing.
Absolutely. I mean, it's your algorithm giving me some advice. It's not that easy to make a good video. So it's going to your AI machine learning tell you know what? Actually, be 1 minute and it must be done in this way. That's how.
Yes, that's what we do because we have about 2 million videos created on the platform every month. So we have run scripts, machine learning algorithms to understand, you know, what scripts work better than others according to the type of job that you do. Because, you know, a real estate agent and a coach are really different profiles. So we have categorized the users per role and then the topic analysis and performance analysis on the scripts. Then we use basically generative AI. There are many algorithms. It's very much in fashion right now. And we basically come up with scripts. And it's just starting, but it's really amazing. Actually, on the iPhone, it's available now for 2 weeks. But we will soon have it on Android and on the web. So, and we are planning a lot of new features related to that.
Let me close with, who are your main competitors? Video producing, it's pretty populated.
The problem is, we have hundreds of competitors because our value proposition is to say it's an all-in-one app. So we have teleprompters, we have people that do captions, people that do social media management. So you have a lot. So I would not be able even to give one. I think our main competitor, if you want me to say, is the fact that the users get confused because there are so many platforms and they get desperate, and they basically are frustrated. So they stop investing into creating content because it's hard for them. And I understand, you are a coach, your business is not to make videos, it's to basically train people or give advice. But the video is the media. If you don't use it, nobody will know about you. And that's the difficult part. That's what we are trying to solve. We are less in the video creators space. We are more in, helping small businesses that are not video experts to make, good videos so they can basically increase the reach and have a connection with their audience, basically.
Make a good video easy and fast.
Exactly.
Thank you so much, David. Please stay with us because we are all back soon. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. I'm moving to William, to Mazi William. Very sorry if I have destroyed your surname, but I need to exercise with any kind of founder or die clothing. William, if you want to give an introduction to yourself, and after we move to the business.
All right. Hey, how's it going? My name is William Tomasi. Ireland.
I think you have a
I
small.
used to play for whatever you may call it, a beautiful game. Sorry?
Can you hear us? I think there is some interruption with your. Okay, let's go.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah, please.
Okay. I'm William Tomasi. I'm based out in America. I'm from Ireland, and I play football, soccer, the beautiful game, for a very long time. I've been very active. I'm also an owner of a gym called Gym Love Tahoe, and it's based out in South Lake Tahoe. We opened 4 years ago. There we go. All right. Would you like me to move on to the pitch?
Absolutely, please. Yes.
Okay. So our mission for All Day Clothing, there's a lot of clothing brands out there, but they don't do it exactly how we do it. We're doing it, and we're going to be doing it for the future, which is to create high-end, let me just go back to it. It's going to be creating high-end sports performance apparel and it's going to be fashionable. There's going to be some African prints in there that's not used. And the reason we're using African prints is because Africa itself has a lot of beautiful designs that's not really exposed out in the sporting industry right now. So our mission is to inspire all walks of life to connect with fitness, work, and creativity. It's guided by one rule, which is basically no greater love than this, that one person lay down their life for their friends. And that is huge because growing up, all I've received is a lot of help from people, and they help without any ties, any strings, and they just wanted to see you be lifted up and see you going the way you want to go. And we want to bring that out there. So that's what the meaning of All Day is going to sound like, and that's what wearing the clothes is going to represent. It's going to represent a signal of hope. And by doing this kind of hope, we also are going to use a percentage of the profits to develop little communities in Africa, starting off in Africa and then other regions as well. We're starting off in Africa because in the last year we purchased over 30 acres or more in land. And with this, we aim to do the clothing and the gym and all that. Why? Because the gym starts off with your physical, and once it gets in, it's all tied, mind, body, soul. And the reason we're doing it this way is because we've seen so much growth in this. We started with the clothing, and we started off with Royal Fitness, which was great, but it didn't have any meaning to it before. So we wanted to bring meaning to it. The whole all day is to be empowered from within and to bring the light. So while you do that, you're empowering your lifestyle too, because you know that you're doing something for the greater good. And so we aim to be out there in a lot of the professional world, which is soccer, boxing, UFC, you name it. We aim to be out there, and we aim to be out there with resources and source that we have already. And that's how it got to us. So when we did open, we started off with Royal Fitness. We sold in 6 different countries, and we sold that, which was very surprising because we were only 8 months in it. And that just was where the spark came from, the whole hope that this was heading towards something really special. So the team we have is my brother, Nicholas Tomasi. He's good with the numbers. My good friend, Alejandro Uriaga, who is also a business owner himself, and Jessica Brackett. She'll be doing a lot of the marketing. Here's our bios. And then we also have Madison, who is going to be the partner. My sister Joanna is a designer. Carly and Lily Stevens, which are very close friends that we're all good at and very skilled. Now, the opportunities are great, and the risk is people always ask, it's a little bit risky because you'll have a lot of overflow, but our aim is to be sustainable and to offset 100% of the carbon footprint. And we aim to do this through sustainable materials such as polyester, organic cotton, and bamboo. And from this, it's going to be all locally sourced. And my friend, who owns one of the largest bamboo plantations in Africa and the world, he's got like 5 spread out in Africa. He will help us supply the materials for the bamboo. And the reason why is these materials can create a very soft, and it's really soft fabric, and it's really good for the skin. So it also protects you from UVs a lot more than the regular ones does. And the comfortability that it comes with it means that you can wear this to go play football today. I mean, in an hour, you can change into the same one, but also go to work and you still look good and fashionable in a way. So our goal is to officially launch worldwide in February, like really good, where we have a manufacturer and all that. So we want to offset a lot of our stuff too. Let's see. And the best way to do it about the manufacturing is that we know that we can't exactly get it 100% every time because of maybe some fabrication restrictions and all that. So we want to make sure we want to make sure that the way we're going, we have the right manufacturers with all of it, and sometimes we have to outsource it. And we also want to create and empower a more deeper connection with the whole fitness, nature, and creativity and the community by building communities and increase the quality of your life in a healthier way. So our approach is very simple. It's to represent something fantastic in the world where you're doing just good deeds, not just in there and saying, okay, this is me. Like how everyone goes out with Nike and Adidas, we want to be seen as that, and we aim to challenge the Adidas, Nike, and Viore right now as well. So our growth strategy is very simple. We're going to use the likes of influencers. We'll be using the likes of sporting teams, and by influencers, we have friends who have already tried out the product and love it. I'll name a few. It would be like Nate Diaz, who's tried it. He came to the gym. He's now a good friend of mine. We also have Dana White, and we have my friend Paddy Donovan, who's now a pro boxer. I also have connections with the West Ham United football team, David Moyes, and the LA Galaxy. So we're aiming to slowly move our way up the ladder a little bit and be able to get them as have us be the main sponsors for them in the football and marketing. So we are seeking 450,000 seed capital right now.
William, yeah, let's go to close so we can move to some Q&A, right? Thank you.
Done. All done.
Please go. Finish, and after we can move on.
No, I finished.
All right, that's perfect. I just came in time.
Mm-hmm.
Let me ask you, how do you stand out from such a crowd business of fashion?
We stand out because we're also, it's a lot different than just the whole fashion side. There's more to it, where we have, like, we know that the stuff that we're getting is sustainable, and it's also very, very good for the environment, which there are other companies out there that are doing it. But when it comes to damages and waste side of it, and I know because I've worked in a few of the retail places, they just burn, like they send the damages to a factory and they just burn it. But we don't want to burn any of our damages. What we want to do is recycle the damaged goods and use it to create other stuff. Or we can also donate the damaged goods to homeless shelters, to people who need clothes and whatnot, and we aim to stand by it.
Right. Regarding the production, are you going to produce your apparels or will be given to other parties?
Sorry?
Are you going to produce yourself?
Yes, sir.
And where do you want to locate the production? As your aim is to be impactful and offsetting all the possible emission, where the production is going to be, because producing is pollution.
Production will be based out here first. We have a few manufacturers in the US right now, and they currently have the materials that we are using to create it.
In terms of market, where is your target? Mostly age. Where are you targeting your customers?
We're targeting our customers from, we would say, 16 years all and up.
Everything reach on marketing, digital marketing, media, influencers.
Could you say that again, please?
Everything will be reached by influencers. Everything will be reached on socials.
On social media is influencers, yes, sir. And SEO.
Now, getting influencers on board can be pretty expensive. Are you going to locate a bunch of your fundraising on marketing? How are you going to use the funding you're requiring now?
We're going to use the funding for marketing and to mass produce.
For production and marketing?
Yes, sir.
In terms of, this is my last one, country, where are you going to sell these apparels?
We're going to sell it in the US, the UK for now, and we aim to expand worldwide.
I mean, I really thank you not only for coming, but for sharing your profit with the society. It's a big deal, and everyone must be achieving something similar. We need to help. We need to give. We receive what we give. Thank you so much, William. Please stay with us because we are all back very soon. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
I'm going to move to Igor Mokotor, founder of Wowster Live. Igor, thank you so much. I hope even with you I didn't destroy your surname too much. And thank you for coming. Please, if you want to give an introduction to yourself, and after we move to Wowster.
Thank you, Max. Yeah, we all are fascinated by the opportunity, and thank you for inviting us. We are very young. My background is I have a story with business myself. I've been a business owner, and I did a lot of sales in various areas like insurance. I managed a lot of PR and advertising and things like that in my past. I think the main example that can describe me is that we had a charity history, which just required us to be most energized to bring two events with no experience in doing that with very young teams, and it sort of brought me to the idea that I really love young teams and young products and fresh things to be created. And the thing that brought me to Wowster was an education center, which was my first business that we made. We had plastic walls, so people had to buy easels, and these easels were put in the cabinets where people would use our educational services, which I created from scratch. And the things that were made there were just fascinating in terms of common creation. So Wowster was born, I think, there.
Please go. Let's go with Wowster.
Yeah. So as I said, we are very early stage. The first raise is meant to bring us to the market because on the growth stage, we think we will raise much more. Wowster is a tool to have live rooms for creation using products such as free canvas. We have contacted dozens and dozens of painters over the last year, and we found out that they have a lot of free time and they are geniuses. Their talent is fascinating. So Wowster is basically a live playroom where people can join and can order art for more purposes, as well as getting closer to the gallery or to the specific painter in any location in the world. So Wowster as well is fully supplied with many tools, such as live connection to the painter, having a private room, sort of a marketplace that can be a first global marketplace for selling art globally and locally, creating even mini markets in the countries. So we are pretty excited ourselves, and like people that we met, we would love to be doing it, starting as soon as tomorrow. The problem that Wowster Live marketplace can solve is that most of the painters and galleries, they paint by pre-orders. They use platforms like Instagram. They have no global marketplace when they can have not only their art posted and put a price tag on, but as well to have a taste of their art, to have their clients join them in the live creation and sort of mock up things and distract themselves. Painters as well, there is a problem that they are secluded in only one thing. But as we were getting more and more into the first side of the marketplace, finding painters from Mexico, from Poland, from Canada, from LA, from all over the places, from Ukraine. There are great painters as well that are now selling clothes, even painting on clothes. So all of the painters that can and want to paint for more. They want to sell their private time. They want to give designs for various purposes. So basically, their talent is not yet presented in the market in anyhow. So they need to use Instagram basically because they don't have any other options. Also, we want to sell for a business as a side thing. So the first advertising plan is to sell for B2C and to make it, but also we want to bring the world the new solution. We want to business staff members, and there are all over the world. There are so many companies that they basically failed to give the unification tool for staff members. I mean, they have the average check is $2,500 or euros in terms of unification practices that HR departments want to create. But most of them is just partying, and we want to make it a new fresh product, and we want to try it, and we want to raise more after that, when the first companies will order paintings that can be made by whole staff members of the offices, and they can be hung in the offices, and they can associate every member with a common goal, which is very exciting, as I said. The solution, again, is a live broadcast option, the marketplace where you can not only browse for art, but also you can taste it. You can use it for more purposes. If you like the painter's style, it's available for anything you might even think of. It's an on-demand illustration tool as well. I think it's a 24/7 access to painters with free canvases to be changed with the audience that joins these painters. So it's also a very good art therapy tool. The market is really big in donations and in B2C and in also the art sales. Wowster gives, again, a lot of tools to use art to support these painters. So we just bring the world with a thing that has already been used in many ways in other apps, like Instagram or Patreon or Twitch TV, which they don't have the secluded platform with all of that tools for the global market of that. So basically, people need to be secluded now, and Wowster gives wings for that. Business model, yeah, we have a commission model. Probably is going to be 70-30. We will decide with different painters on different very free model. They will more than 35 to 50 painters. They very strongly ready or decided to open our accounts. Some of them sell 500 euro paintings and their styles. I mean, our logo was painted by one of that. It's a girl from, I think she's from Russia, but she's now in Milan, by the way. And I mean, she's so talented and she does everything. So subscriptions, donations, it all will go, because the live thing is that. Plus, we bring the world with a free canvas, which is like, do whatever you want with it and play with it. And we all saw TikTok as a playground. It went huge. Also, we will as well offer people to own private collective painting hours and request sessions, as on Preplay they do with languages, which again is very amazing. Competitors we have spoken about already. They are there. So basically they have all the tools, but they are scattered. First ones are the live marketplaces, where they have very little art going on. And the UK is charity purposes, Instagram.
We have 1 minute left, William. Igor.
So why now? As I said, the world needs a platform with a global sales option. We plan to work with galleries, with celebrities. We plan to give it as a promo tool for the showbiz as well. because who wouldn't want to paint a painting together? I mean, it's amazingly creative. We have gathered the outburst from our feedback from our painters, which again makes us our target customers. We sign contracts with them, and all of the users basically from Instagram, Twitch TV, Patreon, that use art for different purposes, but scattered between all of that. Players will want to unite on Wowster, and that's why we just want to launch, and the next raises will be. We have talked a little bit about marketing. Lisa is our co-founder, but she's now busy with her business. So we are. She's helping us with the marketing. She's really genius. About the race, as I said, there are initial goals that we wanna bring to the next investors, and as we are very young, we are raising 125, which will bring us to a much bigger valuation. And the next rounds we have already gathered, and it's still gathering a pool of investors to step in on a more stronger thing. Yeah, this is our partners. We have spoken and made deals with all of them, so the marketplace works perfectly, and we calmly move to the next round.
Thank you so much, Igor. Let me ask you, who are your main competitors? You already been talking about Instagram, but it's not going to be only Instagram.
Yeah, our main. I think you can see that all of these platforms, painters and illustrators, are already selling through the platforms, but there is no direct competitor that has all of the tools gathered, so they can present their own live room, their own selling point. So they need to social networks. Their marketing is to social networks. So basically everything is done through social networks without the platform. So other live streaming apps such as Picardo TV or Twitch TV, they also don't give this taste. They stream it. They have supporters, but probably they cannot sell a live painting. They don't have a tool to order a canvas. So these things are the tools that we have to unite on Wowster. They are pretty much scattered around all of the competitors, and I'm sure that we will drag a lot of their market shares to Wowster, because
I really like the way you are associating painting with corporation goals, and also therapy and so on. Are you going to create your business model around all these different approaches you have?
Thank you for asking. It's a really good question. Well, first of all, let me make it simple. We hire painters. We sign contracts with them, which already we have a lot of them prepared and they are ready to sign them. Painters tick for which purposes they are ready to use their talent. Not only live canvases, but also collective live broadcasts, private hours bought with them for designing, as well they tick if they're ready to make illustrations for business. As we cannot advertise it both, my plan is to advertise it as a live creative marketplace with lots of tools and practically anything you can make with the painters, by giving them a taste, which is a really great thing to do, like a half an hour free, and then a person decides whether to buy the private hour, or it can improvise on the live painting hour. So our main advertising strategy is to use celebrities and and influencers, which we have contacted already, so that they can promote their own products. But for B2B and for businesses, our main goal is, of course, cold calls and just try us out. I'm planning to use the B2B sector by the classic startup thing. We will write emails to them. We will show them and promote our painters, and we will speak to a lot of HRs about how it can unite. We will give them questionnaires, and all of the staff members can tick like the association with the company, which image they're associating with, and then we will give them the taste of the painting from the illustrator, and if they like it, they will pay the full check and they will order it for delivery to home whilst the wrap up. So
Thank you so much. I mean, you were talking before. I can even order my canvas, which is come to my home. I can use it to painting.
Sorry again.
I say you were telling before I can even order my canvas, and which will be delivered to my house, and I can use. I mean, I find painting extremely relaxing. I was painting all the time when I was very young. Now I forgot completely how to draw and painting. But I do believe what you're doing is extremely great, not only for business, but also for recreation, for releasing your brain, which is not, it's extremely important. Where are you standing today with this startup?
Well, we have gathered everything we need for the launch, but because the streaming software is pretty expensive, we are raising this first check. Again, we are constantly talking and speaking and attracting more and more painters that most of them I spoke to personally, and we have good connection, and I think it's very good for promotion as well. We have attracted all the partners that are needed for the launch, and we needed to register the rights as soon as possible, of course. And the first check that we are raising will be with our first partner to bring MRR, basically with all the painters to advertise him and to make the initial advertising to gather initial client base and to show how quick we can grow, how many people they order, for example, a private painting, or they started using it for art therapy, or they have bought some canvases or orders, they made some orders, and we are sure that we can bring it to the market. And with these first metrics, well, to be honest, there is interest to it, which I'm happy that you can be a part of as well. But the second race will be much more interesting, of course.
Thank you so much, Igor. Please stay, because now we are all back together, and all
Thank
of
you.
us. And let me start with the first one, Rufo. Rufo, please, why investing in yourself, your team, and your startup?
Well, we have, I think, an opportunity on one side to create really the most valuable company in the world. We have a last post on our website that makes this argument, taking trailing behind a post on A16Z, the largest VC. And that's mainly, located in the fact that the most powerful and richest people in the world, the number one concern, the number one thing they want is this. On the other side, that's also one of the number one things that the world needs to enable democracy and civil rights and even diplomatic communications to happen. So there's huge profit and public positive impact possible, actually. And I mean, we have a shot at it. We also have now a very solid team. We have lots of interest from major players, and we also have a wide engagement with nation states to back this governance body. I mean, just going through our website and our documentation, you'll be able to see that there's a huge amount of traction and work done. And I mean, It's not sure, but we are really along the way, and we have unique also determination and rare grit that we determine to it. And we're nice guys.
Thank you so much, Rufo. Thank you. David, why?
Why big view? Well, video is an explosive market. Generative AI, it's going to make basically all the content industry change. And I think because, we already have so many customers, so much experience into serving this market, I think Big View can be a leading player in this generative AI and basically, be quite successful. And this is my 5th startup. I've been in the industry for a while, and I think really I'm very, very excited about what's to come.
Thank you so much, David. William, why invest in your sustainable apparel?
Because no one will do it like we do. There's no company out there right now that's really doing exactly what we want to do, and that is to create fashionable, comfortable, and sustainable products, and by creating communities that you're going towards. And we use that we're recycling our own profits to create not just online communities or just communities where you go and meet, but we're literally building communities where to create a sustainable living.
Thank you so much, William. And let me close with Igor, the last but absolutely not the least. Igor, why invest in you, your team, and
Well, first of all, I'm in love with Woster. I think it's a child that I want to make not only famous, loved, cherished, but also, Woster is a playground. Every time you give people a playground to play like kids and to do anything they want, basically, the money follows. That's also a great art therapy tool, as you mentioned, and not only for clients, but also for business and businesses and their teams. And we believe that we can inspire and give people a peace of mind. So the huge markets and huge number of painters that happened to be open to it is just proving it. And I will use all my experience in working with celebrities, events, creating marketplaces to make it happen and to make it a huge thing.
Igor, thank you so much. Thank you to all of you to be with us today. Igor, Rufo, David, William, I really appreciate your time. Thank you to all the audience. Today is the last of 2022. We will come soon in 2023, middle of January. For everyone who wants to come to pitch at EquityMatch.co. Very simple. You send your pitch or go to our website and you can upload from there. Apply from there. Sorry, I'm tired. Thank you very much. And I'll see you soon in 2023. Because I'm not going to see you again, up to them. Very Merry Christmas and Happy New Year. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Maximilian.
Take care. Good luck.
Thank you.